I left the house about an hour ago, or no, it's been 2 hours ago. Headed to Baltimore. Mary's having a girls' weekend, so I've been kicked out of the house. So I thought I would go up to the boat.
This is the story of a boy who in his teens started selling sunfish. In his 30s, he sailed with a friend on his Catalina 27. In his 40s, he bought a Hobie 16, which he sailed every year at the beach for a week. Also in his 40s, he bought a Catalina 27, followed by a Morgan Out Island 41. He sailed the Morgan Out Island for more than 16,000 miles until his 60s when he sold it. He then bought a Hobie 21 SE, which kept him happy for a while, but then he bought a Beneteau 50.4, which he started sailing. And he's sailing it by himself. So sailing solo at 70 is me, David Fansler. Only now I'm 71.
Let's change that. I'm 72 now.
It's about a 7-hour or so trip. The funny thing is that the GPS has taken me through to my old town that I just lived in, Wilson, North Carolina. I'm just about there, as a matter of fact. It's almost 1 o'clock. I'm starting to get hungry. I'll find somewhere to eat soon. I've got the new heat pump for the boat with me, and hope to get it installed, at least started installed, on this trip. Anne Marie and Michael, Jeff's daughter, and her fiance are planning on coming to the boat tomorrow afternoon to go out for a sail. So I think that'll be the first time anybody other than Jeff has been out on the boat with me. So it should be a good time. I'm going to be there for a week, and I'll come back next Tuesday. See what all we can get done. Anyway, that's what is happening right now. Well, it's 2:45. I just had breakfast, if you will, at the Cracker Barrel. Blueberry pancakes, sugar-free syrup, and milk. It's been a long time since I've had the blueberry pancakes from there. I'm in Roanoke Rapids, which is kind of interesting. Roanoke Rapids is the city I grew up in, and I'm on the edge of it, not really into it as such. Getting ready to climb back up onto Interstate 95 to continue my journey to Baltimore. Talked to my partner, co-owner of the boat, Jeff, a little while ago, just before I got to Roanoke Rapids, and we're making arrangements to pull the boat out of the water and do a bottom job on it. If you don't keep the bottom of the boat covered with a anti-foul paint, then the bottom, sorry for the disturbance, I'm trying to get the cruise control set. If you don't keep the bottom covered with an anti-foul paint, then it will get covered with growth and look like an old growth forest. So every year or so you need to pull the boat out of the water and paint the bottom with a special bottom paint that resists the growth of anything from barnacles to algae and that type of stuff. So that's what's going on with that. Tomorrow, on Wednesday, Anne Marie, as I said, is coming down with her fiance to go sailing. And then on Thursday, Jeff is going to come down and we'll take the boat to the boatyard that's going to do, well, that will pull the boat out of the water. Jeff and I will actually do the cleaning of the bottom and the painting of the bottom. Interestingly enough, bottom paint is not cheap. It typically runs anywhere from $200 to $300 a gallon, and the boat will probably need 4 gallons to cover the bottom twice. But that's part of ownership. So anyway, let's see. The ETA is now at 6:40 p.m. We'll see how well that holds up with traffic and everything, as I will be going through Washington and Baltimore probably around rush hour, and that may slow things down considerably. So anyway, this is David on Interstate 95 headed north, and we'll catch up with you later. Well, it is 5:24. I've got roughly an hour to go. I'm currently in Washington, D.C. The traffic here is, well, going my way is not bad. The other side is almost at a standstill. It's pretty interesting. I don't get up this way very often, and it's interesting. I guess it's an interesting feeling to be in our nation's capital. So I just thought I would pass that thought along. And just to prove that I was in Washington, in front of us is the Pentagon. And off in the distance you can see the Washington Memorial. How cool is that? Alright, so again we can see the Washington Memorial, and there's the Capitol. Let's see if I can catch that. There it is.
So here's a closer view of the Washington Monument, not Memorial, followed by the Lincoln Memorial. And I think one of the spires on the right-hand side is of the Smithsonian. And I got a clip of the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial together. Directly across the river from where Dragonfire sits is Carson's Seaside Restaurant. A great place to eat. They have the most delicious half-pound Angus burger you have ever put in your mouth. I didn't waste much time getting to installing the heat pump. Jeff and I decided this large cabinet was the best place to put it, so I took out all the shelves and the floor for that cabinet, cut the divider so that there was room between the two cabinets for the heat pump to slide in, and put a new floor in that was lower than the original floor. The heat pump sitting on the ledge, and I slid it in and started turning it sideways until eventually I got it up on its end and was able to slide it down in between the divider of the two cabinets. I ran 6-inch ductwork from the heat pump around to the front cabin and then around to the other front cabin. Here's some look at where I was hiding this ductwork as it was being put in. The Friday after I arrived was Anne Marie's 29th birthday. On Saturday, I was invited to Jeff's house to celebrate her birthday along with the rest of his children and their children. The boat came with 300 watts of solar power, which we discovered wasn't enough to supply the needs of the boat during the day and charge the batteries. So I purchased two 300-watt panels in an attempt to up the amount of solar power in the boat. Unfortunately, they didn't work real well, and so I had to do some tests and video that to the supplier of the panels. So here we've got the small panel connected to the small charger to see what its output is. This is a screenshot of the controller, the Victron controller for the solar panels. This is the output of the two large panels that you could see. They're both 150 watts, so a total of 300 watts. The 300 watt panels that I bought put out a maximum of 60 watts. So it's pretty obvious that there was something wrong with them. And a short time later, the sunshine went away.
It's Tuesday morning and I am headed to Maryland Marina for a takeout. That is, they're going to pick the boat up and take it out of the water and
Going to Eleanor off the inbound ship.
Traffic. And anyway, we're going to clean the bottom, or I'm going to clean the bottom, paint the bottom. And my goal is to have it back in by Thursday. If I don't get it in by Thursday, then I have to wait until Tuesday to get it in, because they do not put in or take boats out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So let's hope that the weather is pleasant and that I will be able to get the bottom clean and paint it before it's Thursday afternoon. That's it for now. Oh, I do have the air conditioner running now, the heat pump. So last night was the first night I've used it. I don't have all the ductwork run for it yet. That'll be a while. But anyway, the heat pump is in and working. Yay!
There was a National Guard station at the airport just across the river from us, and they were flying a lot of these A-10 warfighters. This was one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. It was a boat mule that was made by Maryland Marina to move boats around.
Be with you as soon as I get him set.
Okay.
Give it a shot. Worst comes to worst, we take the front.
Well, this is my last night on the boat in Middle River. I'm headed home tomorrow. It's Tuesday. It'll be 2 weeks and a day since I got here. I got a lot of work done. Replaced the bilge pump in the boat. Got the HVAC heat pump installed, and ductwork to the front half of the boat. The solar panels that I bought with me didn't work worth a flip, so I'm sending them back for a refund. Never did get out of the water. It turned out the Maryland Marina slip was too small for Dragonfire to slip into. So I called a couple other marinas, but nobody ever answered me. So I'll come back up toward the end of September, beginning of October, and we'll have the boat hauled out then and do the bottom job.
The area here in Middle River is quite nice. It's typically 8 to 9 feet. So we have anywhere from 2 to 3 feet below the keel. We got somebody coming in on a smaller sailboat. Well, they have just as much fun. Kind of wobbling around a bit.
So I made it home from Baltimore without any problems. It was a good trip overall. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you'll subscribe and or hit the like button. Either one, subscribing, of course, is always better. So anyway, this is David Fansler signing off from Sailing Solo at 70. See you next time.